Hello YouTube and welcome back to the channel here today. Today we're going to be reacting to episode 2 of Revolutionary Girl Utena. I did have some grand plans about doing more than one episode this week, but those were quickly squashed away by me being very busy. Hopefully this doesn't happen in the future. I'd like to do about 2 a week. That seems to be where we should be with this kind of stuff. Like the episodes themselves aren't as dense as maybe something like Monogatari, right? Where you would need to take a full 40 minutes on per episode sometimes. So I'm imagining this video is going to be a little bit shorter now that we don't have to look at presumably opening, ending, some other stuff maybe as much. But we'll see. I've got the YouTube comments up here for those that are new to the channel, which is a lot of you, by the way. This video did quite well. It's got about 600 views at the moment, which is pretty good for me. It's a good level. I like that. So thank you for that. Thank you for the support and all that kind of thing. Either way, what I do, I read the YouTube comments. I have a little bit of a look here. Normally try to summarize. Normally a lot of them have very similar points, so we're not going to try to say the same thing twice, but yeah, there's about 26 of them, so we'll go through here and just have a little bit of a look. I had to, I guess, self-select a few that I thought were kind of spoilery, so maybe I'll do a similar thing here. Just keep in mind that I haven't seen the show before, and I will be reading the comments. So just kind of tone them down a little bit. Just a few people, I don't know. We'll see. First one here from Kelvin. Thumbnail said it was one of the best first episodes of all time. I still agree with this. And then he gave it a go. And I think he mentioned on Discord or somewhere else that he thought it was quite good. So there you go. We've got another Utena head. I think off the top of my head, there may be another person on Discord who picked up the show because I was watching it, which is always fun to watch along with people. So hooray, that's good. Yellow Jello Fellow, next comment here. Director of Review Starlight is Furukawa, Ikuhara's apprentice. This was known. I've done it in the wrong order, where I've watched Review Starlight first, and now I'm going to be saying, that's a lot like Review Starlight, instead of me watching Review Starlight after watching this and going, that's a lot like Utena. They're probably very similar to each other, let's be real. A few more comments go into it in further detail. Next comment here from Bestial Moon, who gives us a little bit of the interviews, right? The director commentaries, that's the word. Apparently we'll have more to say next week when some potential patterns start to emerge. I've got a pretty good feeling of what you're talking about, but we'll see. So we had a box set in 2011, which was full of sketches, art, interviews, director commentary. So we're probably going to be doing this director commentary bit for each episode, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Ikuhara. So let me kind of summarize here, I guess. Ikuhara had to pitch the show, which is a hard thing to do, right? It's a bit out there, especially for, what, 97 or whenever this came out. It's, you know... It's a bit out there. It's a bit out there even now. So it's a hard one to sell to people that are funding you. Apparently, initially he wrote a plan, something like this, and that got the green light, but that made him reconsider a few things, right? If I can summarize my own show within so many words, is it actually all that unique? Where's the originality really if I can do that? So then there was this pressure on top of it after this kind of description. I have to make the show with a special type of visual expression. That's the only way people will want it. And that's when Absolute Destiny Apocalypse happened. I'm imagining that's the description of the part where we're climbing up to the arena, to the dueling spot. And yeah, again, changed this pitch a little bit, talked about story, explained characters. Most people just said it sounds a bit eccentric, which is true. So again, all throughout pre-production, there were pangs of guilt as he was deceiving someone in his own head. And then I'm imagining the stakeholders would watch the show and then go, huh? What is this? But again, the show did quite well. I'm imagining it did well at the time. It's a different world. You have TV ratings as opposed to whatever the hell we have now, streaming, online influence, any other kind of metric for success. I'm imagining it did well at awards. I'm imagining that the stakeholders were pretty happy. I'm going to say that. So thanks for that comment there, Bestial Moon. Next comment here from End of Valentine. A little bit about the names. Apparently each arc gets better than the last as well, which we'll talk about. So Utena is the calyx of a flower, but it also means tower of flower, sure. And Anchi means flower, so take from that what you will. And Himamiya is something like castle princess, which now, knowing about the castle that's in the sky, makes a lot of sense. The Hime part there is pretty obvious, I feel. And apparently this version of subtitles is new to this person as well. We're going to keep using them. I've got them downloaded. That's what we're using here today. Lazy Joe, next comment here. Another very important part of the staff that I failed to mention last week. I did say their name there, but I didn't recognize it. J.A. Caesar. He's in charge of Absolute Destiny Apocalypse and all the duel songs, so a lot of the musical theatre-esque elements, having worked in kind of musical theatre through the 60s and the 80s, and working a lot with avant-garde director Shuji Terayama. Sure. Both have a huge influence on Ikuhara, so it's only natural that he would go get the music guy. Incredibly unique and risky choice, as we say here. I think it's working. I don't know if it worked out in the end. We will see, but it's working at the moment. Now, this is a statement and a half from, I'm going to say, B. Orphan? I'm going to say that. If you think Monogatari is crazy, you've seen nothing yet. Again, people that haven't seen... Monogatari goes some places, so that's a high bar. But we'll see. This was one that was said a couple times to me through various places as well. Oran High School Host Club, Takuya Igarashi is another one of Ikuhara's apprentices. Started as an assistant on Sailor Moon, and then left Toei, joined Bones. Is there to this day. We're doing Bungo Stray Dogs as well. Pretty cool. And also Star Driver. So listen, my major point here is it's giving me Oran High School Host Club vibes, right? Just a lot of pretty boys and gender weird protagonists, let's say. But obviously way different tonally, like way different. So hooray, I like that. I don't know what else to say there, but yeah. This was a very nice comment. I might get an actual name here. The name's just I Want. Okay, sure, I Want. Were you an English major? Hell no. If you want to know my major, it was actually accounting, so... I don't know about all that. Apparently, yeah, analysis is good and reminds them of reading and writing essays and stuff. I mean, I did English at school. I did quite well in English, but this is mostly a hobby type thing. It's just something that I've come up with over time, I guess. But it's nice to feel complimented and stuff. I'm happy that people like the videos. Simon's comment, as always, is a little bit out there. This whole part. I'm imagining that's the part where we see apocalypse in a million different ways. And yeah, apparently people will be all too eager to provide information, which they already have been, but yeah. So you were right on this one, Simon. I'll give you that. This was very interesting too. Comment by Matthew here. Another thing about the stuff on the show is if you scroll a little bit further, you see a couple of very notable names, right? A few of which cite Ikuhara as a mentor even, right? And this was really their start. So first, a very famous name here, Mamoru Hosoda, Wolf Children. I haven't seen Wolf Children. Maybe that should be a good movie for a poll, maybe. It's a bit furry, but all Hosoda movies are a little bit furry. I enjoyed Belle. I think Girl Who Leapt Through Time's pretty good as well. Mirai, a couple others, Boy and the Beast or something. Anyway, famous director. He's made a lot of good movies, so shout-outs to him. Now, less aware of Hiroshi Nagahama, who is the director of Mushishi, Aku no Hana, and Detroit Metal City, as well as the upcoming Uzumaki, which is getting everybody very hyped, so that's good. So yeah, big, huge show, which is awesome. And there was another one down here. Yoji Enokido's credits. He's the scriptwriter for Redline. So I just missed that one because I don't really know what Redline is. But yeah, Redline, big deal apparently. And apparently Hosoda is specifically involved in a really good episode here, so sure. Yeah, so Evangelion for girls is funny considering you don't have to be a girl or boy to watch Evangelion. It's so not about that as well. Anyway, I know what you mean though. Next one here from Andrew. The school and the backgrounds look so old since lots of the style and ideas of the show are pulled from Rose of Versailles, which is from the 70s. And again, girl raised as boy acting as Marie Antoinette's bodyguard. You can already see the connections there. What is it, Taka's something review? That's the basis for a lot of that as well. We went into that in Review Starlight, I remember, in great detail. So in that way, it's kind of like Eva. Second mention of Eva, by the way. Probably won't be the last. Kind of like an old story, new viewpoint, but for shoujo, right? Like what Evangelion did for Mecha, but for shoujo, right? If you pull up Rose of Versailles opening credits, you'll see even more what we mean. I have done so in the past than I now see. And also Princess Tutu may be involved as well, considered maybe a kid's version of this, aimed at pre-adolescence as opposed to Utena, which is a little bit more out there. You'd need to be a teenager, I think, to get much out of it. Pencil Sharp, next comment here. First watched Utena at the beginning of the Mahou Shoujo journey, and now is very well versed in the subject if you're on a Discord, on my Discord at all, for sure. And again, not really magical girl by the strictest definition. It's not really pure magical girl, I wouldn't say. But it is connected to pre-2004 Mahou Shoujo and Sailor Moon, and definitely belongs in that genre, we would say, right? The duels have a unique style to them. Utena also belongs next to Symphogear and Review, with the fight narrative being mostly driven by the music, unlike the action shonen-based ones that are a little bit more that way inclined, such as your Precure and Nanoha. Sure. Again, both of these shows are really good. Symphogear fucking rocks, by the way. If you're a fan of Utena, watch Symphogear. It's a little more dumb, but it's still really good. So yeah, shout out to Symphogear. And yeah, I definitely see what you mean from what I know about Precure as well. It's a lot about pretty straightforward fights, as opposed to these ones, which are a little bit more... You gotta think about it a little bit more, I think. But again, not very well versed. I Sensor Alpha here, just shouting out the art and overall aesthetic. It's very strong. The Some Stuff's version is probably the best version, which is good because that's what we have. And then, yeah, music good too. I agree with all of this. I believe this is Matt. Yeah, other Matt. Yeah, sure. A lot of Matts. I knew Utena was an influential show, but amazing how that comes through even from episode 1. I wonder, was this your first time watching? That's great. Apparently my commentary was good too, which is always great. These are the type of comments I really like to see as well. I found this video on one of my regular searches by upload date for Utena reactions, which I find that a lot of people do and then find my channel that way. I'm new to the channel. I'm glad you're doing a deep dive. Definitely adds depth. That's the play here. That's what we're trying to do. So thanks for sticking around. I hope you stick around anyway. Very similar here, Sostoko. Really glad I discovered your channel. So many great reactions. Thank you. And all that kind of stuff. I like compliments. Also, maybe skip previews. I don't think there's as much value there. We're coming off Katana Gatari, which had some really insane previews. In almost a meta-narrative sense. So, like, maybe we're just going to skip previews from now on. I think that's probably for the best. Next comment here from Saint Yor. Hell yeah, Utena. Might not be apparent on the first episode by episode basis, but by the end of the show has a lot you can dig into. Okay, so episode by episode, we may not be getting like Monogatari-esque me talking about stupid shit for a while. You may see a bigger picture by the end, and it may blow my mind. I don't know, something like that. Apparently notes would help. I have not taken notes today. I will endeavor to take notes in the future, just running low on time today. That's kind of where we're at. Sinister T here, the song Prophecy of W, which is the dual song itself, predates Utena. J.A. Caesar recorded it in 2000. Shit, I'm tired. 1994. And yeah, with the link to such a thing here as well. Definitely a name to watch here for sure as we continue. I'm guessing music's going to play a large role here. Oh, I meant to do this earlier. Here's Anna's comment here, or was it Annie? One of the two. Kind of a very similar explanation of the episode commentary, but in a little bit more detail, I would say. So yeah, again, this was just in the box set. Like, I'm imagining this was written down somewhere and not translated. I don't know. Weird one, but thank you. Next comment here from Aisika, I'm going to say. I love finding thoughtful watchers experiencing Utena for the first time. Thank you. Utena is Magical Girl adjacent, but not traditional Magical Girl. Shares some DNA with Revue Starlight. Takes direct inspiration from, here we are, yeah, Takarazuka Review, which we talked about during Revue Starlight. Again, the gender roles there and the kind of male and female split between the all-female cast in that theater troupe. You can apply that pretty easily here. Kind of that real-life element to Utena, I guess. Kind of taking inspiration from real life, I guess I mean. The movie, this is good. I wanted this, actually. Should be watched because it's its own thing. Okay, it isn't like a recap movie or anything. I should watch it. There is debate about how the two are connected, but some view it as the next karmic cycle, which is a bit interesting. I might just leave that there. Maybe like Tatami Galaxy. Night is Short, Walk On Girl shares a lot of DNA with Tatami Galaxy, but the characters all switched, but they're kind of not. Yeah, maybe something like that, we'll see. Also, thumbnail ideas, we'll see. I'm making my thumbnail tomorrow, so I'll figure that out. Also, yeah, very helpfully involves a trigger warning list here. If people were needed something like that, if they're watching for the first time, please seek out this comment. I don't need such a thing. I want to be surprised, so I'm not going to read it. And yeah, just the heads up that the she thing is a translation. There's no gendered pronoun in the Japanese script there. So it's less important than I was saying at the moment, or at that moment, I guess I should say. And then yeah, one last comment here from Annie again. Apparently there's a 1930s German movie about lesbians in a private school called Girls in Uniform, or Madchen? Sure. Mädchen? Kin? I don't know. Again, Frieren's got me weird on the German. However, you can find this on YouTube. The gist is, you know, those first few shots where we see Utena, very similar to that movie, and apparently it's directly cited in Simone de Beauvoir. I'm gonna say Beauvoir. Her book, The Second Sex, which I've heard about. I think it's a prominent feminist piece, so that's fun. Very, very fun. Maybe speaks again to Ikuhara and his influences, which are pretty eclectic, let's say. And yeah, finally we're through the comments there. Hopefully they won't be that long every single time, even though, again, I enjoyed the attention. It's it's very self-serving. Where were we? Last week, Utena got pulled into a situation with Anchi, whereby she is some kind of rose bride. There is some kind of system by which we control her. We don't really know what that means yet. We stole her from Sayonji, who sucks. We hate Sayonji. He's green-haired loser. I think from the preview last week there was a little mouse, which was a bit weird. And we're also fighting redhead dude. So we'll look forward to that, which I'm forgetting his name. I did write it down. I should probably look that up. But anyway, we'll figure it out. I'm just going to jump into the episode because we're only doing the one. So yeah, please let me know if this is the kind of show as well where I should be watching 2 episodes back to back, because I think it works well for something like Frieren, which is you know, serialized and the story follows itself and that kind of thing, right? But if it's a little bit more, each episode is a little bit more focused on different things, then maybe we should stop and talk about them all the time. I don't know. We'll see. I'll get the feel of it as I continue to watch more of the show as well. I'm just going to watch it, so some chill stuff before I do that. If you like the video, please like the video. I think we hit like 60 likes last week, which was pretty rad, so hit it again right now. Subscribe if you haven't already. Nearing 900, which is fun. What else do I normally say? Comment on the video. You'll get it read out like I did just then. Follow me on Twitter. I'll follow you back. And that kind of jazz. And the Discord. It's very fun Discord. I enjoyed Discord. We've been having a lot of very weird conversations lately, actually, which has been fun. I wake up to them generally because, again, I'm in Australia, so everyone else is talking while I'm asleep. And yeah, that's been a bit of fun. I like that. But anyway, I'm going to watch the episode now. Episode 2 of Revolutionary Girl Utena. Rightio, I have episode 2 of Revolutionary Girl Utena up there ready to go. I am recording, which is also good. 23 minutes and 27 seconds on this one, so sync up accordingly with your option. If not, there's a picture-in-picture version in the description below, and using the sum stuff subset thing. I'm also using the full subs version, not the honorifics one, if people cared. Either way, I'm going to give it a 3, 2, 1 and jump right in. Radio. 3, 2, 1, go. And we're back. It's been too long. It really has. What did you say here? Something about my revolution, alright? Embrace my revolution? Take my revolution. There you go. Cool line. Yeah, these two are gonna like stare lovingly into each other's eyes, which is fun. I'm noticing a lot with this opening as well. It's you could almost call it tropey, but I'm sure it's like existing at the times when the tropes are being built. Like if you were to like ask an AI to write an anime opening, right, or storyboard it, be very similar to this, right? Just hits at all the right times where it should. All it's missing is character names on screen. That's a classic trope. Also, yeah, I'm interested in this whole horse armor upside down castle thing. And then us two separating, right? Even if we lose each other, I will change the world. Some kind of revolution. And we're back. Yeah, this shot again, huh? I never did figure that out. Utena-sama? The fangirls? Oh, she's so cool. I don't know about that. They're going a little bit hard. What is it, 8 in the morning? I don't have enough energy for that. Hey, it's my thumbnail. Yeah, those are just repeated shots. Again, it's like an Ikuhara staple, right? For whom the rose smiles. Well, the rose being Anshi, right? Is she going to be smiling? She definitely was happier with Utena than Saionji. Wakaba? Yeah, I remember. It was last week, but I do remember. So she's still probably feeling it, right? What's offensive? Yeah, okay. How can we make this better? Maybe a hug. Should enjoy a hug. Or do you know something? What is that? Magnolia Waltz? Okay, now that that's very specific. We'll see if that's ominous. Yeah, listen, there may be a new player here. She definitely is all over her. There she is. Sup? Okay. Monologue man. Whatever you say, man. That kind of came out of nowhere. Okay. The end of the world is an organization, I believe. Or a man? It's true. Shoujo engage. Nope. It was random coincidence. But that wasn't a random coincidence. Utena. Yeah, there you go. She most certainly is. Okay. The power to revolutionize the world and reach the castle. Okay, so you all wish to revolutionize the world in whatever way you see fit. uh, so Anshi's really important. Anshi is the key to everything. Okay, so from what I understood there, Utena's gonna be in a place all by herself. She's gonna need to clean up a little bit. What the fuck? This seems nice. That was a cool... I liked that. That was cool. Hello, mouse. Now, this room's a bit of a dump. Maybe try another one. Oh, hello. What do you mean? Have you been cleaning? Sure. Now it's not. So are you doing that with Seonji too? Okay. Like, I'm imagining, is this a thing she has to do because Rose Bride, or does she want to do it because Utena's cool? Okay. I see. Are we going to get some exposition here? Okay. I don't think she has a choice, Utena. It was the sword of Dios or something, right? I don't know, a bit of a personal question. And that's a great reason. Us? Yeah, mouse? Hello, mouse. Little freak. Look at this freak. I don't know about the earring. And the exposed ass. Okay, I was expecting it to speak. I don't think it speaks. Hello, Choo Choo. Distinction between friend and pet? And it's going to fucking die? Okay. Yes, Utena. Right away, Utena. Alright, she's just going with the flow. It's always giving me like Pokemon vibes. That's fun. Yeah, not so formal. You don't have to do all that shit if you don't want to. But I guess she wants to. It's true. It's a rose seal. Yeah, but I mean, that only gets us a few episodes, so something else has to happen. Well, you kind of have to. What? Okay. Punish Seonji, which we don't like. This guy sucks. We've been through that. Utena. He's a cool ninja guy. Indeed. What's up? Seto Kaicho. Oh, but isn't there like an order to these things? A mere girl like her? I love his voice. What's an exchange diary? Is it a diary that you exchange? I don't know. I would imagine it's not a coincidence. Yes, Choo Choo? Dinner's ready. Sure. Yeah. Doesn't he know the rules? Yeah. And similarly, if Utena loses, then the same thing will happen. Oh my god. Okay, he's gonna continue beating women. That's cool. And now I understand what Choo Choo was trying to do. You can't just own people, man. Okay. You need two to tango, my guy. What? Well, I don't want to get expelled. That's bad. Sure. Oh. I mean, Choo Choo kind of deserves it, though. I like how he still has the fork. The music's really pretty there, too. He beats me. What do you mean? Okay, whatever. I don't want to get beaten. Yeah. And I'm imagining this is the repeated sequence that we're talking about, right? Fun. Okay, that it definitely is a duel. Have you heard them speak? I do not know what you're talking about. Like, at all. Cool, we're doing the thing again. Which is sick. Sound effects fun, too. This was almost going to be the thumbnail, too. Now knowing about J.A. Caesar and the, I guess lineage there, the musical style makes a whole lot more sense. Like, kind of theater rock is the vibe. I said prog a lot last week, which I still don't disagree with. Um, these shots are just so good. Again, I guess when you're gonna like reuse something, you better make it good. I think Review Starlight did a good job there too. Even Sarazanmai, the part which it repeated, was very fun too. Oh, that's different. Yeah, okay. That's a little bit more magical girl. So she gets a little extra, accoutrement um, when she goes up there now because she's in possession of her. And there's the PS1 cutscene. Yeah, this part's really fun too. Alright, sup? Yeah, she gets a little extra flair and stuff and some shoulder pads. Hello, looming castle. Alright, maybe I'm colorblind. I thought we'll fight in Red Boy. But not seemingly we're not doing that. True. Okay, Anshi. Power of God. What's the soundtrack here? That's so fun. Give me bust sword right now. Alright. But I mean, I guess Sonji does have swords. We saw him looking at some swords, I remember. Imagining these lyrics are different. Yes. I definitely don't remember that from last week. Okay, Utena agency dodged. That's good. Yeah, these lyrics, huh? If you lose the rose, you die in real life. Alright. Is Utena getting fraud checked? We'll see. Okay. Magic rose power? I'm being imbued right now? Oh! Prince Kun? What the fuck is happening? Is she getting possessed? Yeah. Or he's a stand. One of the two. Interesting. You give me like 50 or 60 guesses, I'm probably not guessing that that would be the way that this conflict would end. Whatever it is, it's very interesting. I want to talk about it. Strawberry cake? K-On reference? That's crazy. I don't know, I kind of got possessed. Or maybe it's a little deeper than that. Did you really do it for Choo Choo? Because I would have let the rat die. Alright, give us a smile, please. That'll do. Alright, thank you, Utena. I get what you mean by, oh yeah, this ED slaps, I forgot. It's so good. I get what you mean by the episodes fall into a certain rhythm and structure now, though. So my major question right now is was Utena aware of the what I'm calling possession? Um, Maybe it wasn't that. Maybe it was some inherent desire being manifested in a more visual way. We will figure it out as we go. um, Again, now this is very interesting. I know you can't see my screen at all, but I'm definitely circling the prince and Utena. And then that is also very interesting now as well. What is the prince? What does the prince mean? What does the prince want? The power of Dios, the power of God. Are you God? The white rose seems important, as opposed to everybody else's rose. Oh yeah, and then we're not doing next summons. I remember. Alright, so like end it there, I guess. And yeah, diving into a little bit of analysis on episode 2 of Revolutionary Girl Utena. So yeah, episode 2 in the bag. It was quite good. I enjoyed myself. Back here on my names. I just updated it to have Choo Choo in it, which is cool. Also, this guy's called Torga, right? And he's got the Yakuza name as well, which is cool. I thought we were fighting him for some reason. We definitely didn't. Maybe I'm just red-green colorblind because I am, and I just missaw it, I guess. The other important thing is this. I don't write a 3. Other important stuff and questions. I think this is the form in which my notes are going to take until at least we get a little bit more of a concrete serialized structure where we're going to want to remember certain things. It's just some questions. It's just some I guess strings in the narrative that are pulling us along. First one here, Anchi and Utena now living in the same dorm. They are seemingly by themselves. This dorm hasn't been used in 10 years or so, I think they say. Is this on purpose? I think we imply that it may be, but my understanding is, or my question is, why? Is this some higher power at the school, maybe a headmaster or head teacher or something like that, arranged it to be this way upon learning some things or something like that? Or is this a quirk of being the Rose Bride, like the Rose Bride will always be wherever the other character is? It's also very very anime, right? I'm the special main character with the different dress, and I also get my own dorm, which is different than everybody else's dorm, where I get to live with my Rose waifu. Anyway, it's coincidental in a pretty fun way. So again, is this somebody's planned this in the show, like in the school, or somebody, or is this just something that happens magic wise because Rose Bride? Does Rose Bride always live with whoever is engaged? Is that did she have to live with Saionji? I can't imagine that was very pleasant. But I digress. Um, I'm imagining we'll find out more as we continue. My next question is, what the hell happened with the power of Dios? So this is the big question of the episode. This is the big thing that's probably stringing us along now. Did she know? Is my other major question here that I haven't written down. I'm going to just write it now. Did she know? No context. So did she know what was happening there, or was it some other manifestation of desire in a more visual way? It's a question. Doesn't need an answer. It's rhetorical. Why did the prince guy come down and fuse with Utena? Is that his decision? Was that her decision? Is that the manifestation of the power? Has that never happened to anybody else before? Questions to be asked. And again, is this the power to change the world that we continue to talk about, right? And then what does this power have to do with the organization called the End of the World? Apparently it's a guy. What does he want? He seems linked to the student council of the school in some way, pretty specifically. And it's only one-way communication. They don't really know much about this guy beyond what we know. He's pretty mysterious. There's some weird shit going on, and I'm kind of into it. So that's my extent of the notes so far. Potentially they will get more built up as we continue. Maybe I'll, so say this question gets answered in a little bit more of a way. Maybe I type there. Something like that'll happen maybe. Maybe in a red. That would look very effective. Either way, I'm going to bring the episode up now. I'm not going to imagine there's going to be a ton to say. Again, a lot is repeated. There'll be new lyrics to read, which seemed pretty abstract. Almost like the beginning of time type stuff, like the first stage in evolution type stuff almost. We'll talk about it. Can I just say what a relief it is to have a 23-minute anime episode as opposed to yesterday's fucking huge movie? If you didn't know, I watched In This Corner and Other Corners of the World, which again, if you didn't know, is the longest anime movie ever. It's like 3 hours long. So just having a nice 20-minute episode to watch is calming. It's good. Not saying I didn't like the movie, I loved it, but again, it's just a lot more manageable, at least for today. So one of the first things I noted was repeated shots, which I'll go through here in a second as well, which isn't exactly a bad thing. It's just like a lot of content in the episode is repeated, and I guess I knew that. It's how we're going to twist this and change this later, where the meaning will lie, I think. Like this shot here, the Evangelion shot, as I said last week. So it's the next morning, Utena's as popular as ever, she's got her own set of freaking fangirls, they're going crazy. I can't say I don't get it, but I'm with ya. It's almost like the show's restarting in a lot of ways, right? Kind of like, it's in a very theater way here, right? Kind of the light appearing there. Like the lights are getting turned on, this is the next stage in our little story, right? Yeah, this shot repeated, that shot repeated. Again, I'm imagining this is just start of episode stuff. I'm imagining, again, if you're a fan of the show, this just helps you feel comfy. Like, you've seen this so many times. The shots are really good. The backgrounds are really good. What's there not to like? For Whom the Rose Smiles, we got the last shot of the episode where she smiled, so that kind of came to fruition, I guess, as well. I guess the contrast between these pink roses, which I think are associated with Anchi, and the white rose, which is more and more being associated with the prince and Utena. So, one to watch there, maybe color-wise. So we get to school and Wakaba is still looking pretty down, or at least that's how we interpret it. In reality, I think she's just lost in thought reading whatever book this is. We just get a nice little reminder of the content of last week there. And yeah, Wakaba not herself. Maybe this is more apt to how she's actually feeling, and the stuff she does later is a little bit more of a show. We'll need to see as her character evolves. She shuts the book very loudly, the book called Magnolia Waltz by Hiho something Tor? Sure. I'm going to look this up to see if this is like a real thing, because I love intertextual study. It's very cool. Well, what do we have here? Magnolia Waltz Volume 1 by Chiho Saito, who is the mangaka for Utena as well. Very fun. Also known as Magnolia Waltz, also known as Waltz in the White Dress, I mean. Interesting. Which is a shoujo josei novel. And again, I'll bring this back up. We're being a little bit cheeky, I think. So here we go. The whole way through, there was a guy she liked. Okay, cool. Also, I'm gonna be weird again. Hang on. Like, look at this dude. That dude's very similar to our dude, right? Like here. This is kind of fun. Maybe this is based. I love their costumes. But again, the whole way through there was a guy she liked, but she ended up with a broken heart. The next day, a different guy conveniently appeared and got with the heroine. Okay. Are we being critical of our own text here a little bit? So let me get this straight. Girl in love with somebody, got her heart broken by a guy that she was chasing, right? Another guy just appears and takes girl, or whatever that means. Are we talking about our little love triangle kind of forming between Wakaba, Anshi, and Utena? Is that what we're inferring here? Or is the prince involved here? If we could think about it as a love triangle between Wakaba, the prince, and Utena as well. And then it's like, when I read this a while back, I was all like, no way, this is boring. But now that I've read it again, I think it's pretty awesome. There's a reason why we're talking about it. I'm pretty sure we're being a little bit meta and cute with the reference, as well as maybe a little bit ominous with the message. But it's nice to see that Wakaba is back herself again after yesterday's events. Way back herself. She's all over her. So again, we don't get much of it there, but like literally Wakaba straddling me, right? But then like looks over to door and notices that Anshi is now in class. If this is not love triangle, then what is? Thoughts. Food for thought. Also, we get 1 second here before we're just like into the shit. So let me read this again. So this is an elevator which we're going up to the very top where the student council hang out. If the egg shell is not broken, the chick will die without being born. So we've got to break a few eggs to make an omelet. We are the chick, the egg is our world. So we will never ascend if we don't break the world. Okay? Break the shell of the world, right? Break out of it and start seeing new ideas. Again, we're promising some kind of revolution or the power to revolutionize the world to whoever holds the Rose Bride. And again, these 3 gentlemen, it's unclear. Again, rhetorical question, please don't answer me. Are interested in such a power. That's the thing here. We're being narrated by Talker, though. So we have to break the shell of the world to revolutionize the world. Pretty based. So apparently they all received letters from the end of the world as well, and we're supposed to carry out the instructions within. We are not privy to such things, even though we get the letter there. Sealed with a rose, of course. I guess the letter just tells them the state of what's going on. So Seonji defeated, cool, and new girl Utena, who's popular at school, is the new engaged one. I don't know if we have a name for that. And again, this person was not receiving letters from the end of the world. It's almost coincidental that this happened. Again, there's a lot of mystery here at the moment. I don't know if I want to go prodding too much, but was this mere chance? Was this mere coincidence? Or was it some kind of influence on Utena making her do such a thing? Was there some party that wanted to break the traditional structure that was there with the student council and the end of the world controlling things and blah, 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 blah. Of course, names like revolutionize the world, end the world, it's pretty on the nose. You can kind of see where each party's coming from there, I guess. Does one need to end the world to revolutionize it? I don't know. Maybe that's part of the overall show's themes. We will see in time. Again, I'm listening to your voice, sounds female, but again, in a show that's so much about gender, we're not going to make any assumptions. This guy also seemingly has the hots for Utena. He always calls her lovely, and he said, like, my baby last week or something like that, which was off-putting. I think you got another thing coming. I don't think it's that kind of show. Also, not sure about the sharp nose and the sharp chin and stuff. But anyway, I digress. It's got a good jawline, though. Apparently, having an extra person was not within the expected rule set. However, we're not in charge. End of the World's in charge. If he doesn't change anything, then we don't change anything, right? Apparently, one of the first letters would have said that you get into the garden and you go up and you see the illusory castle, and that was probably pretty good evidence that this shit was real. And then, of course, everybody upon doing that is now in, right? They want to see this to the end. Yeah, and of course, the carrot at the end of the stick, the one that becomes engaged to the Rose Bride and wins the duels, shall eventually reach the castle and receive the power to revolutionize the world. We see in the opening that they're on horses and stuff and they're going through the castle that's upside down, so I don't know, turn the world on its head or something. There's probably some metaphor in there. Again, the stopwatch. Boy stopwatch. Boy continues to stopwatch, which we will watch. That's a bit weird. 16 seconds, you reckon? It was longer than that, but I digress. You've got something to do with that. Stopwatch has a bunch of roses on it. What's going on? Who fucking knows? So yeah, there was a room assignment, right? So Wakaba and Utena in different rooms, much to Wakaba's disgust. Oh, the student council decided it. Interesting, right? And then she got a room just to herself, like on the east wing or something. Why would the student council do that? And Wakaba's in the south, which is cool. Utena's also very tired after basically carrying her all day. I also really like, back here, their arms. That's very fun. Just like hand in hand, swinging arms, walking out of school. That's what I do with all the homies as well. So then, yeah, as I've said in a very cliche anime way, we get the special treatment for the protagonist. Nobody's home. I'm basically on my own in this big building. I love this shot here. So Utena's down there thinking about, don't tell me no one's living in this dorm. And then pan to the top where she's still like kind of looking around. Yeah, just kind of like if that shot was to make sense, then the character would have teleported. But it doesn't always have to make sense. It's just very fun. So my question is she outside the same room? Because she opens room, see it's disheveled, sees mouse. I'm like, huh? And then there's almost like the effect of time passing here. like there, and then opens the same door to get cleaning, where Anchi has already completed a lot of the cleaning. Is that almost like a supernatural thing that happened? How'd she get in there? I don't know. Yeah, question marks on that one. Also, there was Mouse, and now there's Scary. Not Scary. He's not scary. He's just a little animal sidekick, and your mileage may vary. Um, is that. You know what I'm saying, though, right? There's some fucking freaky shit going on, I reckon. I like, yeah, and Utena doesn't question it, which is why I didn't question it either, but, like, I don't really understand. No, I cleaned most of it last night. Was it a different room? I'm guessing it was probably a different room. This was the one room that had already been cleaned. Sure, let's say that. And then Utena, in classic anime protagonist fashion, is kind of clumsy and not very, not very organized. Let's say has a ton of crap with her. Again, there's no coincidence to them sharing a dorm. She was in there last night. She must have had some inkling that she would be staying here. Yeah, okay, something's happening. I don't know about the dorm shit. I don't know what the student council's planning there, is my point. So then we get to the part of the episode where we're going to do a little bit of exposition. Utena asks the questions here. The Mirage Castle and the Trick Sword, what's that all about? And we have a really good answer here, because I thought, again, we were going to go into a little bit more of the straightforward exposition, right? But instead, Anshi's like, I don't know. And then it's like, well, why do you do it if you don't know? And then it's like, well, Utena, why do you wear boys' stuff, right? Why do you dress like a boy? This, I just kind of like it. And then Anshi's like, it's the same for me. I'm doing all of this because I just kind of like it? Does that read as a legitimate motivation here? When she was with Saionji, she seemed like she was terrified. Like it was terrible, right? Are you, again, I don't know if you're bound at all, or you're doing, or you know more than you're letting on, or you're implying that you don't, but I don't believe you. Why else would you do this? What is the motivating factor? And then we get distracted very quick, right? Like, does it bother you having us here? And then it's like, oh, what do you mean us? And then Mouse is here. Hello, Choo Choo. So this is a little less of the traditional magical girl sidekick that gives you powers. He's just going to be kind of here, and he wears a tie, and he has one earring, which is a whole other can of worms. And he's going to fill screen time. I also like how he has bananas here, as opposed to the roses. He's got monkey-ish features, right? I think. Hence bananas. He kind of looks like, Super Monkey Ball? He kind of looks like some of those character designs, so take from that what you will. And Choo Choo is not a pet, he is a friend. Again, I don't think that Anchi is telling us everything that we want to know right away. She's not going to explain everything. And then Choo Choo almost dies, but gets saved by Utena because she's good like that. I said Pokemon-esque features. I think it's the Choo Choo, like saying that and meaning words by it. You know what I mean? Is onomatopoeia the right word? Probably not. Like characterful saying of one's own name in the third person to convey meaning. I think that's the Pokemon-esque feature there. Which I enjoy. I like that shit. Like Pika Pika, and then Pikachu's excited. It's cool shit. I like that. Yeah, again, that conversation there with Anchi was almost like a whole lot of nothing. Like, why are you calling me Sama? Can you like cool it down with the Utena Sama? She just says no. You are the one engaged to me, so I will continue to do it. Just not revealing all their cards yet. As we learn here, Utena has a rose seal. Everyone in the student council has a rose seal. Anyone who has that ring is entitled to participate in duels. I wonder if we'll see more rose seal users as we continue, most probably. And since you're the current champion, one by one everybody else will duel you, and then before long the castle will keep coming down, I think is the implication, and then other stuff will start. Utena then exclaims that she's not going to keep fighting random dudes, and Saionji looks like he's punished or something, so we know where the rest of the episode's probably going to go from here. I think this is where we get mid-cards. Most certainly is. So he continues to practice his swordsmanship stuff, and Toga gives Saionji a visit. Both are technically members of the Kendo Club, I believe this is, which is weird considering you're student council president, you're vice president, but you're president of the Kendo Club, and you're just a member, so there's a little bit of a weird power thing going on there. They're also both very tall. Also, here's another thing I didn't clock in on. So he's a captain of the Kendo Club, probably a senior, right? And then Utena's a middle schooler. So like, I don't know. That would make her like 15. Again, Australia doesn't do school like that, so it's kind of hard to keep track sometimes. But yeah, I think middle schoolers are like 14, 15, 16, maybe something like that. Either way, Seonji's got a chip on his shoulder, and he's probably going to lose again. In fact, he does lose again to a mere girl like her. Just really likable guy. I really like this moment too. Kind of Seonji like lashing out here, right? Like here, right? And then Torgen like not even reacting because he's cool. Yeah, okay. I like this guy. He's a bit of a weirdo, but I like him. And then these two have an exchange diary, which I may Google quickly, but I'm pretty sure it's just the diary that two people exchange. So they were actually kind of secretly cute, maybe? I don't know, we'll see. But maybe he was also coercing her into writing some stupid bullshit, so maybe that's not very cute. We'll see. What is an exchange diary? Yeah, it's just a notebook shared between friends. So, cute, I think. So Tana's back, she's eating dinner. She starts the scene by talking to herself. Are we really the only two that are here? Did she make the food? Did somebody make the food? It's unclear. Either way, Choo Choo comes running in, and Utena's like, hey, Choo Choo, you should go get Anshi. She's gonna miss out on the meal. But, Choo Choo's trying to get some different information across. Basically, come with me. There's something serious happening. Sanji's basically on one. I also really like the editing across here. Like that. Into that. Into that. Like, that's very cool. He's like, why don't I own you still? It's like, well, don't you understand the rules of what we have going on here? I thought you said you would devote yourself to me. It's all in the past. My engagement to you is over. Cue the slap. This guy sucks. It's true. Yo, he's got like a clenched fist too. This guy's way abusive. We don't like this guy. And then Utena here to the rescue, which is cool, as well as Choo Choo with the fork, ready to fight. Pretty cool. Basically, Sanji shows up and says, let's run that shit back. It was a fluke. You got me on an off day. So yeah, we're gonna run it back, basically. But Utena, pretty understandably, is like, why should I do that? Why should I agree to any of this? And then it's like, hey, if you don't obey the rules of the Rose Duel system, I guess, the student council will find a way to expel you. So you won't be at school anymore, and I kind of need to do that, so I'll fight you, I guess. Yeah, the directing here across the board is just like really solid. Really cool. Really, really cool. I really enjoyed this scene. So yeah, Utena agrees to join, and then Sanji crushes Choo Choo, which she probably deserves if I'm honest. Anshi questions why she accepted the duel. I thought we weren't doing that. And then it's like, well, I want to keep being at school, I guess. Either way, I'll lose on purpose. There shouldn't be a problem with that, right? That'll get me out of this whole thing. And then it's like, yeah, do as you please. No eye contact, looking down, acceptance, smile. You probably shouldn't do this. And then we go into our sequence, I think we call it like the apocalypse something. Somebody called it something in the YouTube comments. I'm imagining this sequence of things is going to repeat a number of times. Kind of like the review battles in Review Starlight. Very, very similar. Like, kind of the episode will end with a fight, generally. I really like these two as well. Kind of like our audience surrogates almost. They're watching along with us. That seems like the vibe, right? I like the shadow as a decision too. Have you heard the news? Have you heard the news? There's going to be another duel behind the school today. We do a bit of a cowboy standoff motif, I guess. Bang, one character dies, a tumbleweed rolls past. Shadow of a tumbleweed, I should say. And one party lost in the duel, but apparently it was okay because I lost on purpose. But oh brave hero, how hard will it be to lose on purpose? Have you heard them speak? Have you heard, have you heard, have you heard them speak? Also, yeah, the hand here that comes across with a cactus? What? That doesn't fit the shadow thing we had going on at all. That's very funny. I don't know how I didn't notice that. And yeah, basically from here on in, we repeat a lot of animation. I will watch through it again to see if I pick up anything, but if I don't talk, I don't talk. Again, I'm going to continue to say I think the school seems very involved. Why else would they have the garden on this premises? Why else would there be a rose in the school emblem? All these kind of questions. Is the student council themselves the reason here? Or is there something deeper tying this location to this illusory castle? I don't know. We will see. To my knowledge, the lyrics have not changed for this part, but they do change during the duel. So maybe that's the part I will read. This part's different though, where we zoom in on Anshi and she puts her hand up. She's in costume, and she almost adds a little bit of extra to Utena's stuff with her hand, almost in a magical way, as well as the sword pull as well, which is very Mahou Shoujo. So, yeah, magical girl influences, adjacent, as we said. Yeah, she continues to have white rose, Sanji has green rose because green hair, makes perfect sense. But then pink rose is something else. So white rose, what's the color of the prince's hair? Hang on. Yeah, white. Yo, and the pink rose. Think about it. I'm downloading some information right now. I think I'm onto something. So just had a few more thoughts while editing. So again, we know, based on my theory, Prince white hair, white rose, Utena pink hair, pink rose. Utena in the past received the rose seal from the prince. So then it would make sense that the prince is somewhat involved here with that particular rose seal. You getting what I'm saying here, right? I'm imagining, again, if the prince was in this context, he would be better than all the student council. He would be better than all those Ikemen guys. He's the ultimate Ikemen husbando to the Rose waifu, right? That makes sense to me. So is somehow that power being channeled through Utena now? Does that also imply why she displays princely qualities as well? So there's something in that. Again, this is just me spitballing. I don't know if any of this is true, and most certainly don't want any confirmations. Please don't tell me if I'm right. We go over the rules again. You kill Rose, you kill person. Apparently she's still trying to lose on purpose. So then, Power of Dios. Give me Dios sword. Very cool. She pulls the sword in a very princely way. I think it's the first time we've seen her do that animation. She almost looked very similar to Saionji from last week doing so. Like, she looks very boyish here. Princely, I guess I would say. So again, upon doing this, right, you should be throwing the duel. But she grabbed the sword, and now she's fighting. Is something to do with sword? Question mark? Or did she just fucking change her mind? How much of this was actually for Choo-Choo? I don't think it was. I think something else happened. And again, the lyrics here, a celestial time scale, erosion, sedimentation, like the beginning of evolution, the beginning of life on this planet as we know it, the start of something. I wonder if we will go through the passage of time through these lyrics, through the duels that we do here? Maybe. Yeah, 3 billion years, the birth of life, a geological timescale. Cambrian or Dovician? Silurian, Devonian, I don't know what any of those mean. Stromatolite, bacteria, Colinia. Is this like the start of life as we know it? Triassic, Jurassic, Cretaceous. Those are all like periods and eras in history, obviously. Yeah, we're just kind of progressing through life. Lycopodium clavatum segalid tamasinia. I'm bad at this. Science words. I could probably look them up and be a good boy, but I'm not. Yeah, different plants, different things in the primordial sea. Lots of stuff. I'm kind of ignoring the dialogue here as well. Where he said something like, value your own life more than the roses, or less than the roses, or something, right? Like, the rose is your own life. That's how much I'm staking on wanting this power of revolution. But for Saionji, it seems a little bit more personal. There's not that power want there. It seems a little bit more specific to Anshi, I think. We call it the Sword of Dios, but it doesn't have any powers of its own. It's a champion's sword to be wielded by the best. I disagree. I think there is power in the sword. But yeah, then Sanji starts to put the foot down. Again, he's probably the superior swordsman here. See you, see me? What? The Paleozoic within the flesh? Okay, the beginning in the flesh, the beginning of the world, the end of the world, continuing to die? And then ring resonates with castle. Okay. Prince descends from castle. Just like a whale, just like a dolphin, just like a seal. When all hope is lost, a prince descends. There is some kind of white rose magic happening here. A grand history at the bottom of the sea, which makes me myself. And then, yeah, she just kind of fucking pawns, Ammonite, and then we just win. But again, was that the prince like taking over her? Is that the power of Dios? Is that something else? The power to change the world? Is that you manifesting that? What does it mean if we met this prince previously then? What does that mean? Is it the same prince? It's heavily implied to be the same prince. I have a lot of questions. Yeah, Torg is the one to say it, right? Because he's watching from a distance through his little binoculars. Was that the power to revolutionize the world? I don't know. So either way, it must suck for Saionji. He just got his shit wrecked twice. We're back at home the next night, and we're having dessert at the table. There is a cake with a strawberry on it. We were kind of stopping Choo Choo from eating the cake. Anchi appears in the meal room. She's going to eat something. Questions, weren't you trying to lose on purpose? I didn't do it for you, I did it for Choo Choo. Did you do it? When did you make that decision? What caused you to make such a decision? Why did you change your mind? Because it wasn't for Choo Choo. Choo Choo's kind of annoying. Was it something else? Either way, I see Utena laughing with Choo Choo. Apparently Saionji would have bullied Choo Choo as well, which I can agree with. And then, yeah, she smiles. That's the smile of the Rose Bride, or whatever the title of the episode was. And yeah, from there, we're a little bit lost. We get to hear the banger ED again, though, so that's a bonus. And yeah, that was episode 2. I guess I've left today with more questions, but also some answers. So imagine that's the structure we're going to go with. Just keep presenting new things that don't make a lot of sense immediately, and then answer a few things along the way. Keep stringing the audience along like that. But it was very good again. I shout out to the directing, especially during that one scene. It was quite nice. Definitely unconventional. We've definitely got our repetition there. I see what we mean by that. I think the lyrics of the songs are very interesting. This kind of the beginning of something, this Preamble you'll see. The beginning of myself almost. The beginning of my revolution. The beginning of the world versus the end of the world. A number of themes there for sure. White Rose, keep an eye on White Rose. I think White Rose is very important because we're tying rose to hair color almost, right? And then pink rose as a result. Purple rose? Think about it. Yeah, and I'll continue to do notes like that, just kind of questions, I think. It's the best way to do it. Show good, episode good. Want to watch more, but it's like 7:30 at night and I got to go eat and go to bed. So yeah. Thanks for watching and stuff. I'm going to do my show stuff. If you like the video, consider liking the video. If you like the video and you want to see more, consider subscribing to the channel. Comment below. Anything you thought about the episode, anything I could do to improve my presentation, comment below. I'm doing follow for follow on Twitter, so follow me on Twitter if you'd like me to follow you back. And the Discord, join Discord. Love Discord. Discord. And yeah, I'll catch you guys next week for more Revolutionary Girl Utena. Thanks for watching. Catch you later. Cheerio. I'm still saying that. And yeah, see you next week.